All eyes are on Putin. That's our top story today on the Wall Report. I'm your host, Greta Wall. The major indices are all down today as Russian forces move further into eastern Ukraine. Russia-linked stocks are down sharply, with the VanEck Russia ETF tumbling more than 10% in today's session. Just moments ago, Russia's state-owned news agency tweeted that the Federation Council had voted to allow the use of the military in the Donbas region of Ukraine. President Putin is also currently speaking and says Russia has recognized the separatist rebels' claim of the entire Donbas region. He is calling on Kiev to abandon its goal of joining NATO, saying that is the only way to solve this conflict. Now, this comes after UK officials said the invasion of Ukraine has begun. Putin sent troops into the Donetsk and Luhansk regions Monday after recognizing them as independent. He described that movement as a, quote, peacekeeping mission. In response, though, the U.S. imposed sanctions against those territories, and the U.K. ordered sanctions against 5 Russian banks and 3 wealthy Russian individuals. The European Union is also expected to respond with sanctions. President Biden is slated to address the situation from the White House at 1 p.m. Eastern, so in just about an hour. And oil prices are cooling some as those tensions do continue. U.S. crude futures are currently just under $93 per barrel after spiking to $96 overnight. And while those tensions weigh on the market, some key earnings were also released this morning. Home Depot shares are down nearly 7% despite Q4 earnings beating expectations. The home improvement retailer reported earnings of $3.21 per share on $35.72 billion in revenue. Now, Home Depot's global same-store sales surged 8.1% year over year, while same-store sales in the U.S. jumped 7.6%. The company forecast growth this fiscal year in line with expectations, and the board approved a 15% quarterly dividend increase. Now, meantime, Macy's shares are rallying today, up nearly 3% after an earnings beat. The department store chain reported adjusted earnings of $2.45 per share on $8.67 billion in revenue. Now, same-store sales surged 27.8% year over year and 6.1% compared to 2020. Macy's fiscal 2022 forecast was also stronger than expected, and the company announced a $2 billion stock repurchase program and also hiked its dividend by 5%. And Krispy-Kreme shares, meantime, are surging nearly 9% after announcing its first quarterly profits since going public. The donut chain reported adjusted earnings of 8 cents per share on $371 million in revenue. The company raised prices twice in Q4 amid higher labor and ingredient cost. The CEO said they still see more price hikes ahead. Krispy Kreme's 2022 revenue forecast came in line with analyst expectations. Now, the market is also digesting a slew of new economic data today. So let's start off with consumers. The Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index slipped this month amid rising concerns about inflation. The survey fell 0.6% to 110.5. Now, that was a smaller drop than expected because January's reading was revised lower by nearly 3 points. Now, confidence in current economic conditions rose to 145.1, but the expectations index dropped to 87.5. And meantime, U.S. business activity did rebound this month as the surge in COVID cases dwindled. The IHS Markit Composite Purchase Managers Index rose nearly 5 points to 56 this month. The survey is a combined reading of activity in both the manufacturing and services sectors. Now, any reading above 50 does indicate growth. And next up, home prices. And man, they're up. The S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index shows the pace of price growth jumped at the end of 2021. The National Price Index rose 18.8% compared to December 2020. Now, that's the fastest pace of annual home price appreciation in the 34 years this data has been collected, and it's up from November. The 20-city index rose 18.6%, also a monthly increase, and the 10-city index rose 17%. Now, Phoenix, Arizona remained at the top of the list with prices surging 32.5% year over year. Tampa, Florida was next with a 29.4% increase, and then Miami at 27.3%. Now, the Federal Housing Finance Agency also released its home price index, which rose sharply as well, up 17.5% annually in Q4. The Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Florida area was at the top of that list, with prices surging 34.6% year over year. Now, more buyers are expected to be priced out of the housing market soon as higher mortgage rates pile on top of these higher prices. And U.S. air travel surged this weekend, bouncing back from the impact of Omicron. TSA says it screened nearly 8.4 million passengers between Friday and Monday, the highest total since Thanksgiving. Now, that's also more than double compared to President's Day weekend a year ago, but still down 7.5% compared to 2020. Airline executives do expect this rebound to continue, saying bookings for spring break travel are strong. So, did you travel this weekend? I did. I visited my childhood best friend to celebrate her birthday over the weekend. So if you did travel, let me know in the comments where you went, what you did. But if you stayed home, that's just as good. Let me know what you did at home and if you got the holiday off. Remember, markets were closed yesterday, so today, this Tuesday, kind of feels like a Monday. I'll see you all back here tomorrow for the Wall Report. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell before you go.